What's this?
A heart?
A heart? Do you have a heart?
No.
Hello everybody and welcome back. Greatly appreciate it. What I did was I started by doing actual online searches. So like I went on Zillow.com. What I did was I'm like, hey, I like this house. So I contacted the people who were actually over displaying the house and showing the house. I actually met a really nice lady who was a realtor. I asked her to become my official realtor, which she was more than happy to do so. Basically, I just explained to her at the start of the process what exactly it was that I was looking for, what size and things that I basically like had to have in my house. Like one of my things was, since I lived in an apartment before that came with the fireplace, like I had to have a house with a fireplace, y'all. Once I gave her all the details of what I wanted to have in my home, she would actually make a list of 6 places at a time, and I would take a look at that information, and then I would pick out which ones I did like and which ones I didn't. What I would do was I would schedule a weekend to come down to where I was moving to and tour those places. And I would tell y'all, I have found 2 different houses that I was absolutely in love with, and one I could not afford, and the other one somebody beat me to it. So I was like, what am I supposed to do? I actually found the house that I'm in now, which the previous owners were amazing. They have actually been living in here since the 90s, and they took great care of the house. Like I wanted a house that was low maintenance. I actually moved from where I was like spur of the moment, last minute, due to an emergency. And when I moved, I initially was looking for an apartment. I didn't want a house because I'm like, I've never had a house. I don't have much credit. But when I moved here, I was like, the prices for apartments are ridiculous. Like, it's outrageous. Like $1,000 or more for a 1-bedroom apartment, like a place I'll never own. So in my mind, with that being the case, I just figured it's time for me to invest in something for me and little one. So I was like, you know what? Let me just take a stab at it, because like I said, I had never had a house before. So I spoke to my realtor. This is before I actually started looking for the houses. I spoke to my realtor and I'm like, hey, I don't even know what steps I need to take. So she's like, of course we need to check your credit. You need to get verified and approved for a loan. And at this point, I'm biting my nails. I'm like, okay, let's try it. You never know until you try it. So she actually put me in contact with a loan officer, and when speaking with this loan officer, she just let me know the different things she would do and the different things that I would need to do. So basically, with talking to this loan officer, she reviewed my credit, and then she went over with me things that were on my credit, things that could be taken off, things I needed to pay. Like, it was stuff on there, y'all, that I was like, what? I didn't even know this could affect my credit, or what? Where did this even come from? So there was a lot of things on there that I was shocked about that I didn't even know about. So we went over all that information. I gave her contact numbers to different places that were on my credit, and she contacted them. Some places she was able to get removed, and there was like 3 places. There was like 3 places she actually had to have me pay off. So I paid those 3 places. She told me to pay them as soon as possible. She didn't give me a deadline, but she was like, we need to get this done as soon as possible. If you want to move into this place, once you find it, you got to have everything correct. Like, everything has to be together, because if they find one thing wrong, it's gonna not go as planned. So I paid those 3 things off, so she was able to take those off. But moving forward, once we got everything situated with the loan officer, and I tell you, I probably looked at 15 to 25 different places. Like, and it was me literally taking a weekend, coming down here. It wasn't like I was here, so it was easier. So it was a lot harder doing it from in a different state. Like, next time I do it, I hope that it's within the same state and I don't have to shop from another state. That would have made it a lot easier. They did background check, they checked my credit, they had me verify employment, they had me verify places I've lived, how long I've lived there, how long have I been at the places I've worked. They needed about 90 days of my proof of income, and like I want to say 90 days, or if not a little bit more than 90 days for my actual bank account history. And on that, I was like, why do y'all need my bank account history? Like, y'all gonna see all the details of where I've been shopping and all this stuff. So, but I understood later, like, they just need to see a pattern of how things are spent and things of that nature. So they got the spill of all that information, and lo and behold, it was a process. I say I started my process 2 months prior, and I officially moved into my house in November. I moved into my house November the 15th. So actually next month is coming up on a year of me being a homeowner, and I officially signed the documentation. When I signed my documentation, I was 23. I'm now 24. So I was doing all of this as a single mom moving to a new state. I had family, but it was all new for me. Like, I didn't really have too much of a guidance of what I was doing. I had an aunt and a cousin who was kind of trying to tell me, oh, try to do this and now you need to do this. So it was a new experience for me. I had to worry about transferring utilities and everything into my name or establishing utilities and everything in my name now that I'm in this new state, because I had it in a prior state. I've gotten questioned on, what do you need to close on a house? So money is definitely going to be a need. One thing I will say is there were a lot of expenses I was not expecting. So when it comes to getting a house, things to expect is you're gonna need money for inspections, such as termites, pests, things of that nature. They're gonna ask you, I believe it was somewhere between, after all my inspections, that alone was almost like $1,000 after all these inspections were done. And no, the previous owner before you does not pay for that. They do not cover that. So I had all of that done. After inspections, closing costs. When it comes to closing costs, they actually do look at like your credit, and they look at how much the house is that you're trying to get, things of that nature, to factor in closing costs and how much this stuff is gonna cost. So I didn't know what to anticipate, y'all, when it came to this. Mind you, when I tell y'all, when I started this process, I was going in the mindset of I'm getting an apartment. So I of course had some money saved up on my own. I have money in my savings and from work, and then of course I had some money from my mom who had passed. When it came to closing costs, you would be surprised. I hear a wide range of numbers. I had a friend closing a house. Her closing cost was like $25,000. For me, when I closed on my house, my closing cost was, y'all forgive me. I told y'all my memory's bad. I'm trying to remember, and I'm not about to go find the paper. Closing costs, it was, I would say, between $10,000 to $12,000 for closing costs. So 10 to 12 for closing costs, $1,000 for inspections, and then of course you need all the money to start up your actual utilities, your this, your that, like all that stuff you need. Now y'all, when I tell you I was scared about getting a house, because I've always been told you don't want to get a house without having somebody in the house that's handy. I'm not a handy person. And when I moved here, it's me and it's Jakai. So of course Jakai's not going to do the handiwork. So that leaves me to either do it or find somebody. So with me moving here, y'all, the first thing, there were two things that happened to me when I first moved in my house. And I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? What do I do? So the first thing that happened to me was my child, Jakai. I told him to go put away a little packet of tissue, those kinds that you may stick in your pocket or stick in your purse. So I told him to go throw that away. He flushed it in the toilet, y'all. He flushed it in the toilet with the wrapper, with the tissue, everything. For the longest, I could not figure out why my guest bathroom was clogged. Like the toilet, I'm plunging it, I'm flushing it. At this point, the water coming to the top. I'm not thinking, don't keep flushing it, because it can back up, your pipeline and mess up the floor, which will mess up the downstairs ceiling. Nobody told me that. So I'm trying to figure it all out. I ended up hiring somebody who came in and put, y'all, I can't even tell y'all the name of the snake. Is it a snake? Something he put down there, and he got it out and was like, this was in there. I could only look at Jhene and laugh because I knew it was him. The second thing that happened to me was my actual gutter for my house. So not the whole gutter, but just the bottom part where the water like comes out and goes on the ground. For that part, it came off. It stormed hard one night and that part just fell off, y'all. It fell off. So I had to end up asking my brother, like, hey, can you come fix this? I don't know how to get it back on. I tried to kind of stick it back up there. It didn't work. So those are two maintenance things that happened to me when I first moved in my house. One thing that I will say, and this was my forgetfulness, one thing that I forgot about. So y'all, I kid you not. So this is a little story time. Taking a shower, washing all down, armpits, you know, get your neck done. The water cuts off. So I'm like, oh, what's going on with the water? So I still have soap and everything all over me. So I just think, okay, let me try to see, does the sink work? So I turn the water on in the sink. It worked for maybe 2 seconds, then it cut off. I took like this big old cup and I collected all the water in there to rinse the soap off of me. And then it dawned on me, duh, I didn't get the water transferred into my name. So I called the water company and they're like, yeah, we can get it turned on for you. So they tell me they can get it turned on, and this is a Friday, mind you. This is, Lord, a Friday. So I called them. They're like, oh, yeah, we can get it turned on for you and get it switched over to your name. If you want to go ahead and get it switched over, you know, now we can do that. But for emergency switch, it's like $200 extra. Say it again, please. $200 to turn it on in my name that day. But if I waited Monday morning, I didn't have to pay anything extra. Who's gonna go the whole weekend without water? So needless to say, I paid the stinking $200 and I got the water turned on. Make sure write a list of everything you need to get switched over into your name. Like, even if you have to ask the homeowner prior to you, hey, who did you do your utilities through? Write them down. Like, if you want to use the same people, fine. You don't have to use the same companies, but write it down so you don't be like me, standing in the shower with soap all over you and 1 cup of water to wash it all off. Let's say that's really all you need. You're gonna need time. You're gonna need a strong support system. You're gonna need money, so it's not gonna be cheap. And you're also going to need a realtor or someone of that sort. Always recommend building a relationship with the person you're buying your home from, because they get to know your personality better and get to kind of get a feel for what it is you like. Make sure that you are associating yourself with someone who is actually beyond familiar with the area, like kind of knows the ins and outs. I would tell you it was the scariest experience, but beside having Jhene, it's the second best thing that I have done. Like, for the first 6 months, my gas bill, y'all, that is the highest bill I have. Oh my God. But I got used to it. I had to learn how to budget and things like the budgeting. Get a month at a time. Like, okay, paid the bills, woohoo, 1 month. Paid the bills, woohoo, 2 months. 6 months went along. And then here we are now. Next month, it'll be a year that I've been a homeowner. It is definitely a blessing. And me just stepping out on faith to say, okay, let's try to do it. I wanted Jhene to be able to run around and play. Make sure that you make it clear what you want and search for it. If it is something that you are not sure about, make sure you just try to stay focused and write a list of the places that you want to look at a time. When I was looking at this place, actually somebody tried to outbid me. Ha ha ha. I hope they watch this video too. Well, y'all can't see my house, but they tried to outbid me. They kept on trying to one up my price, and I'm like, nope, I was here first. I'm getting it. It's a done deal. And here you have it. So those are the steps that I personally took. Everybody's journey is different. So if you are thinking about getting a house, do it, do it, do it, do it. And I will be your cheerleader to do it. Thank you guys for being here again with me. I hope to see you guys next time. Bye-bye.